What's up guys, Cam from Cerberus USA here. So today we're talking about knee cave when we squat. So as we all know, knee cave is a big issue for a lot of athletes, a lot of lifters, be them competitive athletes or just recreational trainers. And you know, a lot of this stems from a couple of different things. One is your technique in general, squat mechanics is another, and then the more intricate reasons are going to be stuff like, you know, glute activation to push your hips out, and then also one of my big things which I've realized over the years is actually your foot activation. You know, if you come into the squat and your feet are not actually activated and keeping you grounded nicely, then that makes your knees fall in a lot more. So today we're just going to talk about some stuff, talk about how to activate your feet better when you squat, try and, you know, eliminate that knee cave as much as possible just from some of these little minor technicalities. You know, one of the things we have with our feet is that we're on them all day long, so a lot of the time they're basically like their sensitivity is down regulated. So we've got another video on knee pain that can actually be another cause of knee cave as well, because you're basically trying to get away from that pain. So check out that video, go over some stuff in that video that involves rolling your feet, which then basically increases your proprioception in your feet, increases your sensitivity in your feet. So that's one thing to check out. And that would be something to do before you actually do your squats, do your lower body training. So then for this video, we're just going to go over the cues while we squat and then increase your or decrease your likelihood of knee cave during your squat. So let's get to it and go over some cues. Okay, so just going to go through the squat. I'm going to show you essentially one squat or a couple of squats where we are not thinking about our feet, not thinking about our glute activation, which then just to show you basically what that leads to. Now I'm going to hold on to the Olympic collars, or the sleeves on the barbell for this, because I normally squat with an 8-foot bar and my shoulders are trash, plus my bicep, I don't want to force myself into the bar. So basically when we come into the squat, if we're just like we're not thinking about our feet, we're not thinking about pushing our, you know, keeping everything lined up, you know, you can come into the bar like also like sort of loosey-goosey, and you can see and I can feel my knees falling. Like I'm falling in, and I can feel myself rolling onto that medial arch, that inside edge of my foot. So when we're talking about engaging our feet, you'll see people who like they'll try and pull with their toes and all that sort of stuff. The way I think about it, I don't think about pulling with my toes. I think about just trying to like get an even pressure all around my feet. Now you can't really see it obviously because I'm in socks, but if you think about it, I'm thinking my heel's down, my toe, and then I'm rounding, I'm getting equal pressure across all 5 toes, across all parts of my foot which is in contact with the ground. And then we're also thinking of creating that arch. So when we get in, we activate our arch, drive our full foot into the ground, and then obviously where your arch is going to be off the ground, but driving our toes in, driving that outside edge of our foot into the ground, activating it all, getting our air. And then when we're coming down, we're thinking about pushing and keeping all your weight on that nice outside edge, on your toes, or not on your toes, but activating your toes so that you've got pressure across your foot, even pressure across your foot into your heels, sitting back. And you can actually see the immediate change from knees falling in to activation and being on like that outer edge and basically trying to activate all of this, which then creates your arch, make sure your knees don't fall in, all that sort of stuff. So now when I'm talking about glute activation as well, you'll see a lot of people who will, when they talk about activating their glutes, but they think about driving their knees out. It's not about coming in and driving your knees out hard, because then all it does is it makes your knee not track properly. When we're activating our glutes, we're literally just thinking about keeping everything tight, keeping that knee aligned, which then links in with the foot. So again, when we're coming in, we're getting our feet set, activating the feet, and then this is where I want to be. Like, I don't want to force my knees out anymore. I just want to keep everything in line and activate that glute so that it stays in line and my feet are activated too. So that my glutes are activated here. I don't need to force out like this. I can just keep my feet nice and tight, and there's my glute activation, keeping everything in line. So that's the big one. Now, right now, I've also got a bunch of knee pain right now today, so even for me right now, I'm trying to shift away from that pain. And I can very much feel myself wanting to fall in, try and get away from that pain on the outside, try and make my knees track a bit. They would track worse to get away from the pain. But then when I force them into the correct track and keep my feet nice and activated, my glutes tight, while it's a little bit sore, it does make me more powerful in the squat. So hopefully, a combination of the foot activation, the glute activation, and then actually doing some of the drills with the knee pain stuff will help with your feet and then lead into that lesser knee cave. Another thing you can do that's very passive, instead of in addition to rolling your feet, buy a set of toe spreaders off of Amazon. Like, I think I bought a set where they included 2 different sizes, and it was like $15. Put them in, sit with them on at night, let those toes, because we get so crammed into our shoes all the time that, you know, we would like this anyway. If we can spread our toes out, now we've got even pressure along our toes, outside edge, the arch comes back, and then it just leads to that better foot activation, better foot pressure, and then again, keeping everything in line. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of food for thought, so that moving forward you can lesser your knee cave. If you have any comments or things that you do to try and fix your knee cave, definitely let me know. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, let's work.